Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. So if you really want freedom, if you want to smell the freedom volcano, you should move to El Salvador, like Iran said. Leave your country if people don't treat you well there. Leave the fuck. Go to a real country, like El Salvador, that has a real leader, real people, and real business people. Fuck the US. They're not giving you what you want, you know. You don't have the right to free speech. You don't have the right to free speech. You don't get any kind of freedom. You should really move your feet. Going to the polls won't get you anything. Leave. Blockchain is not changed. Trump, Bitcoin changes you. You need to join the Bitcoin side. You need to wait in line. You need to bend your knee, which you most likely won't be willing to do. One ear won't let you hear very much. Already? The world is rough. Okay, Bitcoin fixes this and takes money out of fighting. Natalie Brunell recently spoke with Max Keiser, a well-known financial and crypto writer, at the Rec Bitcoin conference. They talked about El Salvador's decision to accept Bitcoin as legal currency. Keiser talked about the huge changes that have happened in El Salvador, the effects of Bitcoin use around the world, and what Donald Trump said at the 2024 Bitcoin meeting. Keiser talked about how President Nayib Bukele of El Salvador is becoming known around the world since the country legalized Bitcoin. He said that El Salvador is like a shining city on a hill and a sign of freedom. He said that Trump was wrong to say bad things about Bukele, who is a well-known Bitcoin supporter and the first leader of a country to declare Bitcoin as legal currency. At the GOP conference, Trump said that Bukele was not worthy of the U.S.'s attention and accused him of sending criminals to the U.S. Many people who support Bitcoin were surprised by this criticism, including Keiser. They had thought that Trump's newfound support for Bitcoin would help them connect with each other. They both spoke President Bukele and Donald Trump. But what did everyone talk about? I am President Bukele. That's why Donald Trump felt a little bitter. He thinks, oh, I need to calm this guy down, but right now President McKinley is the most liked leader in the world. You can use Bitcoin in El Salvador, which is now known as the shining city on a hill. El Salvador is the first country in the world. That's right. El Salvador stands for freedom. El Salvador is, but they have already put Bitcoin on their shelf. It's being said by lawmakers that it will be put on their reserve. People, you should know that they're lying because the central bankers, Jamie Dimon, and other important people won't let them. That's why Ayn Rand said to move to El Salvador if you really want freedom. Go there and smell the freedom volcano. Leave your country if people don't treat you well there. Leave the fuck. If you want to see a real country with real people, a real boss, and real business, go to El Salvador. You're not getting what you want. You don't have the right to free speech. You don't have the right to free speech. You don't get any kind of freedom. You should really move your feet. Your vote won't get you anything. Leave. What went wrong with what Trump said? Because he said the president and El Salvador were letting criminals into the U.S. through the border. Not only is that irrelevant and false, but it's also very hurtful because the MS-13 gang began in Los Angeles. They were then dumped in El Salvador by the Clintons, where they killed tens of thousands of people. You're being very rude when you say that the opposite is true, okay? Because it's not just being cute. That's what made me mad. The only thing he's not trying to do at the sorority cotillion is be a jerk because, say, his dress is nicer than mine. He is wrong about the facts. He's wrong, and tens of thousands to millions of Salvadorans feel insulted by what he says. And El Salvador made Bitcoin a form of money. Free speech is very important to Salvadorans. What used to be the Statue of Liberty is now a volcano in El Salvador. So, line up, buddy. Also, let me say something. Blockchain is not changed. Trump, Bitcoin changes you. That's why you need to join the Bitcoin side. You need to wait in line. You need to bend your knee, which you probably won't be able to do. One ear won't let you hear very much. Already? It's a rough world, okay? Bitcoin fixes this and takes money out of violent acts. Do you want to show Trump some love? Yes, I do. I have a special flower for Trump. Sending him this flower to show my love and appreciation for at least making American politics more honest and open is something I'd like to do when I see him. For the third time, I will vote for Trump in the next election because I support him so much. But Trump is from New York and so am I. That's why we talk like New Yorkers. In New York, this is how we do things, and that's how they are. Gunpowder is a good way to describe Bitcoin. According to this model, if one country uses gunpowder, then you have to use gunpowder too in order to stay alive or destroy each other. The global hash war, also known as the global Bitcoin war, has begun. I wrote about this war about 5 years ago. All of a sudden, everyone said that these countries were going to ban Bitcoin. I told them no. In fact, it's not true. All of them are going to accept Bitcoin. They are going to mine Bitcoin against each other and hold on to it because it will become a new world standard for Bitcoin. And all paper money will lose all of its value over time. It's taking gold's value down. That's what the ETF market shows. Gold ETFs are being sold off and Bitcoin ETFs are being bought up. It's taking money out of the bond market, the stock market, the real estate market, and the fine art market. When it comes to Bitcoin, everything is worthless. To put it another way, anything you hold as an object will lose value compared to Bitcoin. So this is what people in the political class who have been following Bitcoin for a while are starting to understand. It's interesting to hear so many leaders talk about Bitcoin up here. What they want to say is clear, and they sound good. I don't think they've really thought about it yet because Bitcoin will cut out the middleman. Not only will it cut out the central banks, but it will also cut out the nation state as we know it. So both the nation state and the central banks will fall apart, and we'll have a new system. This is already happening in El Salvador. There will be a decentralized control model in the future, which is different from the 300-year-old central bank model that we're used to. President Bukele is already thinking about this. He's spreading things out. People call President Bukele a tyrant, but no dictator would let his people own Bitcoin, which is an asset that can't be taken away and gives you freedom. That's not the same as tyrant. You already know that Bitcoin is a magic mirror. It makes you an even better person if you already have good character. If you're already a bad person, this will make you even worse. When you look at someone like Craig Wright, the Bitcoin magic mirror shows that they are a real jerk. Yes, I see. If you're Michael Saylor, the Bitcoin mirror showed that you are a person of high integrity who loves teaching and has a deep knowledge of Bitcoin. The same thing happens in politics. You have someone named Cynthia Lummis who I think gets it. It was an orange peel, and she's working hard in politics to make things better. When politicians talk about Bitcoin, other politicians will soon find out if they are being selfish and self-serving jerks or if they are really die-hard Bitcoin maximalists. The scythe kills everyone. In this day and age, Bitcoin has become the new gallows. There are a lot of posh people who don't deserve the power they have. You're no longer here. Have a nice day, bye. You are going to be cut off from the middleman and go to zero. You're welcome to visit El Salvador whenever you want. Trump and take a look at how Bitcoin country works and how it runs. It will give you ideas. I know that Don Jr. has been to El Salvador and is now buying a house there. He has had great talks with the president. Also, Gates has been to El Salvador. Matt Gates, you should know that he's buying a house. El Salvador is where all the smart money is going. Government leaders who are smart are all going. The orange pill will soon fall, and the Donald will be on his way to San Salvador. Come see the country for a week or two. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. A lot of people who visit end up staying, and the possibilities are great. We're about to open a Bitcoin bank. You'll be able to borrow Bitcoin to buy a house, and you'll get both the rise in the house's value and your Bitcoin at the same time. You'll also have a great place to live, and the building is only $150 per square foot, which is 90% less than anywhere else. You've gotten a lot for your Bitcoin. So it's really the once-in-a-lifetime chance.